This playthrough is rated M for mature.
Time to find out what happens when you suddenly have an introvert be forced to improvise. Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of Shadowrun Hong Kong. In the last episode, we went to DeckCon by helping Isobel, and we talked to a lot of nerds around here about deck and deck stuff. Got some interesting stories, and now we're here at the kiosks, and now we're going to have to get Isobel to open the store and give us some VIP passes. So let's see what happens as we enter upon this awkwardness that will occur. The perfect persona kiosk flickers to life at your approach. A debug menu pops into the screen, along with a text prompt in all caps. Wiggles, enter the following key code into this kiosk. 1052RGFKLLPE988XVL0237ZZKP0NV. Enter the key code. You tap the code on the kiosk keyboard. A moment later, a series of 5 loud popping sounds rattles off in your comlink's earpiece. Isobel's voice fills your ear, crisper and cleaner than it was before. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, can you hear me, Wiggles? Yeah, I hear you. What was that? A command line code for the kiosk to connect with your comlink via direct link. A hint of smugness creeps into her voice. This way we can bypass using a comm signal entirely. Clever. Sorry, sometimes when I do certain voices, it's hard for me to get into others. So. I know. As long as you remain within a couple of feet of the kiosk, we shouldn't have any problems. 1 to 2 far out of that range and you're going to get static again. Got it. Alright, now that we're all linked up, give me a second and I'll locate Rumbus. You hear the sound of rattling keystrokes and coupled with Isobel muttering under her breath. The line falls silent. The silence stretches. 10 seconds. 20. Then you hear Isobel explode. What the hell? He already has one. The fuck does Rumbus merit invite VIP pass when I don't? Wait, he's already in the VIP area? She rails into your earpiece, fuming. I'm twice the decker that he is and everybody knows it. What makes him a VIP when I'm not? Jealous much? She takes a moment to calm herself. You almost feel the heat of her anger radiating through her earpiece. Alright, I know which room he's staying in now. Another stirring silence. I just need a few minutes to get you your VIP upgrade. The line goes dead. Well, my friend, what to do now? Shall we? A series of clicks erupts in your ear, cutting Ractor's sentence short. Your PDA begins blinking. You're receiving a video chat request. Answer the call. Isobel blossoms onto the screen, along with a pair of towering security guards. The line that connected here to the admin terminal hangs loose from its socket. I'm gonna ask you again, what the hell are you doing in here? Take your time and make sure that you're telling me the truth. I'll know if you don't. Isobel stammers helplessly. I just looking for someone who ordered this coffee. What are you looking for him in the Why were you looking for him in the Matrix? And besides, you don't have any coffee, so try again. She continues to sputter. Her eyes dart towards the screen, fixing on you. You see the desperation on her face. Well, I need to, so we're doing the Serrano thing, aren't we? Is that what we're doing now? Cyrano, sorry. Cyrano de Bergerac. Yes, please, I need help. You're telling me. Alright, this is your last chance. Start talking sense or spend the night with the HKPF. Just say, I just wanted to surprise my boyfriend. He works in this room. No, I'm not saying. She catches herself, catches her jaw. I just wanted to surprise my boyfriend. Apparently he works here. The guard glances at his counterpart. We don't have time for this. Just kick her out and be done with it. You could also say it was a prank, or it was a prank bro, or whatever. Doesn't really matter in this case. The guard in front of Isobel straightens. Yeah, you're probably right. She looks down at Isobel, hands on her hips. I'm gonna let you go with a warning this time, but only this once. If I catch you anywhere near this room again, I'm turning you over to the police. Got it? But You're getting out of this easy, Isobel. Just go along with it. She clenches her jaw, looks up at the guard. Yes, sir. Good call. The line goes quiet as she moves out of the server room. Oh, what's going on? Oh, okay, this isn't supposed to happen. This is a bug. This is, Larissa is the person who's talking. Is supposed to be a character that if you couldn't get the uniforms for whatever reason, she runs up to you on the floor and talks to you about doing a quest for her. So I don't know why this is happening, but okay. Upon reaching the door, you feel a pair of eyes on you. Turning, you find the owner, a frazzled-looking dwarf in a wine-stained catering uniform. Her crooked name tag is emblazoned with the letters in bold print, Larissa. Hey, couldn't help but overhear you back there. You need a uniform? No, I'm good. Remember the part where I overheard you? I know that you need one of these. I can help you. I only need 5 minutes of your time and help. I don't want that uniform. I want a clean one. She huffs at you. Look, you do this for me and I'll get you into the room where they keep the uniforms. You can take whatever you want. Deal? Alright, tell me what you want me to do. There's a guy on the show floor, an elf, one of those deckers. Most of them are cool, but this one has been a prick to me for the entire show. It's the guy we talked to in the last episode, the elf with the crooked collar or whatever, who said he was an awesome decker from Asia, Irish, Asian or whatever. First he tried to chat me up while I was out serving drinks, and he wouldn't take no for an answer. Creepy. Then when he finally got the hint, he started trying to trip me. I managed to keep my footing the first 3 or 4 times, but he finally got me. Put his foot in the back of my knee and pushed. I hit the floor, and I took an entire tray of 5 Nuyen wine with me. Now I'm drenched. The wine is coming out of my paycheck. He's out there on the floor laughing about it. Let me guess, you want me to beat the piss out of him? She nods eagerly. I don't know if this guy's a racist or if he has emotional problems or what. Maybe he just hates me because I'm a girl, but if you'll knock him on his ass out there, the uniform is yours. Or he could just be an asshole. Doesn't have to be racist. It could be just a dick. I'm only getting your side of the story here. I'm going to talk to this guy and see what he has to say. Yeah, you go do that. I bet you anything you'll want to hit him yourself after a minute or two. Usually what you do is you just go into physical violence with them, but we don't need to do that, so we can ignore that. What a damn nightmare this thing is turning out to be. I'm sorry, Wiggles, but I couldn't get you your VIP access. You got out of there in one piece, and without the cops getting drawn into this, that's what's important. You're right. At least I know where we had to go. Rhombus has the room in the VIP section, and I can get us there. Oh, I forgot to mention completely that Isobel really cleans up, because she looks a lot different with her without her certain makeup and everything like that to clean up normally. So, looks good. There's only one problem. Without VIP access, you can't open the door without sending the picture on your PDA flickers worryingly. A moment later, Isobel's image returns to the screen. And let you through from this side. That's what I'm going to do now. I'll make my way down to you and open the door. You just cut out again. I thought you fixed our communication issue. I did, but that fix required me to be jacked into the hotel's computer network, and I'm not anymore. I'm still using the kiosk to talk to you, but I can't route messages to it directly anymore. It'll still help, but it won't be perfect. Sounds like a sitcom situation to me. Please stay put. If you lose that kiosk, we're going to start running into some serious communication issues. This is getting better and better. Oh, and I may need your help if I run into more people up there. Here, Wiggles. In case you hadn't guessed, I'm not exactly a social butterfly, and if things go loud, I'll really need your help. Got your back. Let's do this. All right. Let's go clear out the server room. All right. So we actually get to play as Isobel now. So yeah, we basically do a Cyrano de Bergerac situation, or whatever you want to call it, where we communicate through. She says what we want, for the most part. So anyway, if we go in this room, we can actually avoid this room, but I'm going to show it anyway. Isobel takes a quick glance at the terminal. I'll be damned, it's logged into an admin inbox and somebody left it unlocked. I can't open the door for you from here, but we can read the messages if you want. Realistically, there's actually no reason to do this, but I'm like I said, doing it anyway. Do it. Isobel turns the camera in her PDA to face the screen on the terminal. Amber text on stark black background swims into focus. HER serves motel messaging service version 2.0. Read messages. Man it. Ghost in the machine? Admin. Leave it unplugged. Man it. It came back. Admin, damage control. Alright, let's leave the first message. To Ho Peng, Nancy. To admin, Wing Z. Look, I'm going to come right out and say it. The security guys are right. There's something horribly wrong with that noodle extruder. I ran down Nestagon this morning. I was halfway through recalibrating the broth nozzle when the damn thing started humming. And sure enough, it started churning out steaming hot Juk Sing noodles, just dumping them in the palms of my hands. Don't even want to see the blisters I'm sporting right now. Now here's the freaky thing. The dough hopper was empty. I unloaded it myself prior to the beginning of the diagnostic. I will repeat that. It was producing dough out of thin air. That machine is haunted. You want my advice? We'll get rid of it before the show. Isobel blinks, nonplussed. I don't know what I was expecting this message to be, but that wasn't it. You want me to keep going? Yeah. Second message. Wing Z to all. The noodle extruder on the front food court area is out of order and should be left unplugged until further notice. Under no circumstance should any hotel or deck con employee tamper with this device. Maintenance is looking into it. Again, do not plug in the extruder. Severe disciplinary actions will be taken against any employee caught disobeying these instructions. Alright, you want me to open up another? Yes. Nancy to Wing. Okay, I'm getting seriously creeped out over here. That damn noodle extruder is back, Z. I can't explain it. We boxed the thing up yesterday and sent it to the manufacturer. It wasn't there 5 It wasn't here 5 minutes ago, but now that we've opened the doors and the show is underway, I'm strolling through the food court, and there it is, just sitting there with a line already forming. What the hell do we do? You and I both know that doesn't have any dough in it. There's no seasoning in the spice reservoir. We don't have it hooked up to the hotel's water supply. The fucking thing isn't even plugged in. Where are the noodles coming from? What do we do? What do you want me to do? Read the last message. Z to Nancy. It's too late, Nancy. At least a dozen people have already eaten from the thing. We can't shut it down now. We sure as hell can't let anyone know about it. If people were going to get sick, the show could be held liable. Look, if it's any consolation, I've been pouring through the logs of old shows to see if anyone had mentioned the noodle extruder, and I found something. This exact conversation. 14 years in a row. I don't know what's happening with this machine. I don't know where it came from or how or why, but it's part of DECCON. Nobody can get rid of it, and nobody knows how it works. It just does. People keep coming back to visit it. I think this is a blessing in disguise. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. Just don't question it, and everything will be okay. I don't know what to say about this. What do you want me to do? I've seen enough. Get down here and get us through the door. Okay, I'm on it. Yeah, it's just a silly situation about the noodle extruder that one guy says he keeps going every year to eat, even though it's not that good tasting. It's because it's magically produced instead. So, all right, let's go in here. Let's read what this says. Info about the conference room schedule tells you about a high-level exec in conference room 3 on the bottom floor. Okay. Now let's go in here and pilfer some supplies. Pilfer! Pilfer! Alright, we get a med kit too. Alright, take that. Since we're not going to be attacked by anything, or since we're not going to get into combat, we shouldn't have to worry about it, so. Alright, let's take this elevator. This music sounds familiar. Actually, it's the music from that one show from Dragonfall. During that one mini quest or the one run where you can go. I think the guy locked himself inside of the like a hospital or a place or whatever, and this is the music that was playing every time the show was on or whatever it was. I forgot what the show was called though. Isabel's outline goes fuzzy the moment she sets foot into the elevator. A loud rhythmic whooshing sound dominates the low end of the PDA speakers. It sounds a bit like the rotors of a helicopter. Heads up, Isabel, we're getting a lot of interference here. An elf in his mid-20s steps aside to let Isabel at the floor selector panel. He looks wired, jittery, stemmed to the gills most likely. There's no telling how long it's been since he's gotten a wink of sleep. Isabel punches the button for the ground floor. Working the show, huh? That has to be hard. The elf smiles down at Isabel, his expression affable. I'd feel tempted to blow off work and go check out the kiosk, maybe take in a panel or two. Tell him this decorator stuff isn't really my cup of tea. I'm just here to work. She starts in, repeating her words with forced sincerity. This decor stuff isn't really my... She falls silent. You can see her staring at the man's VIP badge. Isabel, what's wrong? Her eyes remain locked onto the man's badge. Kian Ding, huh? That's an interesting street name. Been decking under it long? A couple years now. Smiles. Longer than anyone else to use the handle. Just smile and nod, Isabel. You're trying to go unnoticed, remember? If she heard you, she doesn't acknowledge it. I know who you are. You're the one who shut down the Kowloon City power grid 6 months ago. He clears his throat. Yeah, that was me. Let's just keep this between ourselves, though, alright? That lizard son screwed over a lot of local deckers. Her voice is soft, but you can detect a definite undertone of hostility. A couple of them soaked up nasty hits of dump shock because of it. You wrecked the grid while they were jacked into their home machines. My team was in a bind. They needed a power outage right there and there, or they were cooked, so I gave them one. It was the best solution to a bad situation. Let's leave it at that. An icy silence descends on the elevator car. A few seconds later, Isabel pierces it. There was this decker. She lived out in Hawaii, called herself Spinster. She was a good person. Now she's in the ground. She never came back out of that coma that your son put her into. Another long pause. Slowly, Ding extends his hand towards the emergency brake. Isabel, snap out of it, Is. We aren't here for this guy, and we can't afford to start shooting at... She balls her hands into her fists. You can read the tension in her body language. She's biting her tongue. At least that's what I heard. I'm just a caterer. I'm not a decker myself. He stares down at Isabel. A smile has vanished from his face. Yeah, sure you're not. You've come to get me, haven't you? To take revenge for your friend? Did her people put out a contract on me? Is that it? There's two ways you can go about this. You can either say, I'm not a decker, honest, I'm just a caterer who spends way too much time working on the Shadowland BBS, and that'll work. Or we could say, yes, I took the contract, but I decided not to go through with it. When the elevator stops, walk away and don't look back. Either of those two ways will get us out of this situation. Yes, I took the contract, but I've decided not. Abruptly, the connection cuts to static. Please, Isabel, don't do anything stupid right now. The static pops, hisses for 10 seconds. 20. Finally, the picture warbles back into view. Qian Ding is in mid-sentence, practically frothing with rage. Did what I had to do. If you were in my position, you would have done the same if you'd gotten them killed. He's shouting. The sound of it reverberates in the cramped confines of the elevator car. There was no third way out of that scenario. Isobel starts to respond. The anger is clear in her tone. I would not have... Isobel, stop. Listen to me. She stops short. What? You're crazy. You're an insane person. Want to get out of this elevator? I'm going to go to the hotel security. So if you have Biotech 4, you can say, tell him this. I'm sorry, you're right, sir. I've been clinically diagnosed as a paranoid schizophrenic, and this morning I forgot to take my meds, which will work. If you don't have that and you chose this line of dialogue, then you say, to hell with him. Tell him that if he does, he's a dead man. Tell him you're with the Yellow Lotus. Will work. You don't want to turn me in. My boss would be very unhappy. I work for kindly Cheng. The color drains from his face. He begins to stammer. Oh, no, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean... Static. The comms have cut out again. This is getting old. As quickly as it went, the picture flickers back into your PDA screen. Qian Ding looks calmer now. The elevator is descending. Remember what we discussed. You keep your cool, and this turns out well for both of us. We live and you let live. Understood? Yes, I didn't want any trouble from you in the first place. I'm just glad there was all a misunderstanding. Please don't take this the wrong way. They'll be happy if this is the last I ever see of you. The feeling is mutual. The car finally slides to a halt, and the elevator doors slide open. The other decker doesn't get off. Enjoy the rest of the show. Now get a move on, Isobel. Yeah, I got out of that situation. Alright, let's continue on. Alright, there can't be anything else happening, right? Right? Oh, no. The hallway ahead is blocked by a trio of struggling bodies. A blackout drunk troll hangs slung between a pair of cursing security guards, one male, one female. As you watch, they struggle valiantly to drag her down the hallway. The troll's voice comes out in an inebriated roar. I'm you fools. The older of the two guards, a middle-aged man with a pompadour haircut, struggles with all his might to keep the prisoner flailing arm constrained. Don't let her go, you. She has the strength of 10 men. It was Ho-Yi, but anyway. Yes, sir. You recognize her as the guard who was standing by the employee entrance on the shore floor. How she got roped into troll hauling duty is anyone's guess. The security guard captain looks eyes with Isobel. He's barking out an order. Clear the hall! Say nothing. With an exaggerated motion, the troll swings her head towards Isobel. You dwarf girl, help me this. She hiccups mightily. The sound reverberates in your ears. This brackhead want me to leave because I'm a troll. What's happening here? None of your business. You're not even hotel staff. You shouldn't be back here at all. He hugs the troll's left arm to his chest with all of his strength, desperately trying to weigh her down. She lifts his feet a few inches off the floor, then slams him back down. He lets out an audible whimper. Now clear the way and report your manager. Quit fighting me, damn it, before I talk to him for you. The former door guard stares at Isobel. Recognition dawns on her face. Man, what's wrong with me today? Hey, I remember you. You said you had to meet some caterers up on 6. What are you doing here? If you have etiquette socialite, you could say, tell him, sorry, I had to get more fuel canisters to the chafing dishes. We were told you had some here. Or not. But in this case, we want to say, okay, say I was just checking to see if anyone down here wanted a drink. Just checking to see if anyone needed a drink. You, want a mojito? The man strains against the troll's drunken efforts. His brow is beaded with sweat. You shouldn't hold still. Be here, not even offer drinks. The troll looks down at Isobel and issues a mush-mouthed plea. And no, this pig is to help me. I'll take the run on the left and you take the right. The troll bucks against the guard's grasp, nearly breaking away from them. They double down on their attempts to hold her. Isobel stares into the PDA. She looks irritated. To hell with this. It's a waste of time and we've got the schedule to keep. Her hand moves towards her weapon. What do you mean? What do you mean what schedule? If you have intelligence of 5, you can say, tell them the catering schedule. We're serving dessert in 50 minutes. If you don't have that, then you need to say, my work schedule, and I'm done. After I'm done here, I need to pull a double shift at Uncle C's house of pork. If you don't, you'll get in trouble. So, mine. I work 2 jobs. Damn you! Trying to put food out on the table to feed my kids. Her yells grow to an impressive volume, reverberating in your ears. I'm not just a caterer. I work at Uncle C's house of pork. There's a moment of stunned silence. Finally, the troll shatters it. You work in Uncle Shay's? That place is a vomit factory. Isabel's voice goes deadly serious. I know. I know. The guard looks at her boss. The security captain strains courageously against his captain's flailing arm, obviously to everything but his own struggle. Look, just hurry back to the kitchen and get out of our hair. She steps aside to let Isabel pass. Good job, Isabel. There's a brief pause, then she mutters a response under her breath. The mic barely picks it up. This is exhausting. No one more improvisation for me. I'm done with this. From now on, I'm your parrot. Just tell me exactly what to say, and I'll say exactly that. After what almost happened in the elevator, I think that's a good call. Alright, now we have to... Now Isabel no longer, like, does weird things. She'll exactly copy what we do, so that's a next clue to the next set of puzzles here. For those who want to get through this without triggering a confrontation anyway. But anyway, let's get... Oh, the door's almost there. Why? Oh, for some reason the dark, or the light wasn't operating for a second. I forgot that this game still had a few weird bugs after all these years. An impressive looking man in a starched white coat blocks the hallway. He turns and you recognize the familiar pastry magic and more insignia on his lapel. He fixes his gaze on Isabel, and the expression on his face is anything but happy. What are you doing back here? We went over this in the staff meeting this morning. I'm the one who's covering this area. The VIP is to be handled by managers only. You should be on the convention hall floor. I know, sorry, they sent me back here, but I think it was a prank. I know, sorry, they sent me back here, but I think it was a prank. Looks like she's telling the truth after her encounter with the guards. She's repeating everything you say verbatim. And you fell for that. You had specific instructions to stay on this floor. Oh. I didn't know I'm new here. I didn't know I'm new here. Yeah, no shit. I don't recognize. You become dimly aware of a figure looming behind you in the conventional. New here? You must be joking, man. You've been on that kiosk for 20 minutes now. Wait, excuse me, what? He leans in and gets in your face. You can taste the onions on his breath. I said that it's time to get off the damn demo kiosk. You've been hogging it all way too long. If there's a line here. Just give me 5 more minutes and it's all yours. Just give me 5 minutes and it's all yours. What's all mine? What are you talking about? You're not even one of our employees, are you? Do I need to get security? I said that's enough. I've been following the devs of the software for months now, and I traveled 17 hours to try it out for myself. You do not get to tell me that I flew here for nothing. Get the hell off the kiosk or I'm calling security. Now, the way to get past this is to say, be my guest. I work for this hotel's owner. The security team is going to take my word over yours. Oh, yeah? What do you do here exactly? He stands, hands on his hip, his jaw is thrust out. Tell me why I have to wait on you. Be my guest. I work for this hotel's owner. The security team is going to take my word over yours. You work for the owner? So then you're not a pastry magic employee? He sounds skeptical. So then why are you wearing one of our uniforms? I'm here to check up on the vendors here at the show. Tech vendors, the catering crew, all of it. I'm to make sure that the reputation of our venue isn't tarnished. The Decker continues to stare, hands on his hips. Okay, I guess. Just try to make it quick, okay? I really want to get my hands on that software, and I'm leaving until I do. I'm here to check up on the vendors here at the show. Tech vendors, the catering crew, all of it, to make sure that the reputation of our venue isn't tarnished. Oh, so you're like a secret shopper, that sort of thing. He stares down at Isabel, newfound respect on his face. Well, I hope you'll tell your employees that that pastry magic and more catering went above and beyond the Call of Duty to respect your hotel and its rules. Yeah, I will. In the convention hall, the Decker that you were arguing with backs away to a respectful distance. The catering manager steps aside to let Isabel pass. Finally, and now we can open the door. However, we want to go in here because we miss out on something if we don't, despite the fact we could really end this like right now. So, a dark-skinned man in an expensive suit stands at the far end of the room. A cord tethers his data jack to a port in the hotel wall. His eyes are glazed over, dead to the world. He's jacked into the hotel's media library, probably enjoying some slick, professional-produced Simpsons fantasy or something like that. She chuckles. He doesn't even know that I'm in the room. Might as well look around then, but be quick. A cyber deck sits on the table opposite Isobel. She rotates her PDA to give you a view. It's a custom job, pieced together from components pulled from a dozen other machines. Looks a lot like the Octopus, only smaller. The display has been pulled from a Fucci model, designed from experts in the UCAS with a chrome bezel and red LED accent lights. The keyboard is a mechanical relic, with round, heavy keys that appear to have been salvaged from a typewriter. Judging by the Pashto characters emblazoned on the keys, it's probably a Pakistani make. The key is a heavily modified Renraku design. You can see components from at least a dozen other manufacturers jutting out of it. At least a dozen other elements jump out at you, each stranger than the last. A custom stamp on the case labels it the property of the binary bard. Isobel stares at the monstrosity, her jaw hanging open. That might just be the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Grab it then, but hurry, you need to keep moving. Isobel grabs the cyber deck in both hands and heaves. It doesn't budge. On the other side of the room, the decker jolts back to life. He turns to face Isobel, his motion strangely languid. Excuse me, that deck is mine. His tone is calm, conversational. It's almost mag-locked to the surface of my deck. Now stop touching it, please, or I'll be forced to call security. Ooh. Look at that. Let's see. This one, I'm trying to remember, actually. Let's see. Yeah, okay. I was trying to remember a second which line of dialogue it was for this. So, say, I heard that you had the most impressive cyber deck at the show. I had to see it for myself. I heard that you had the most impressive cyber deck at the show. I had to see it for myself. That's true, I do. That doesn't give you the right to break into my room and fondle it, though. Now, you want to tell me what caterer cares about custom hardware? Okay, so on this one, say yeah, I'm a caterer, but that's just a job. Decking is my life, which is kind of true. Yeah, I'm a caterer, but that's just a job. She looks the decker in the eye, and her voice grows deadly serious. Decking is my life. All right, you love decking. Sure, everyone needs a hobby. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a choice. You can tell me what you want. You can back up on up out of here, or I can call security. Neither of us wants to do number 3. She doesn't wait for a response. Your deck, it's a beautiful piece of workmanship, and I want it. Maybe I could buy it off of you? She's not for sale. Tell you what, though, I could be convinced to let you crack the case open and take a look inside. He stifles a yawn. Maybe you could learn a thing or two. So you could, if you want to fight him, you could and knock him out, but you don't need to do that. So, all right, Isobel, thank the man for the thank the man, look at the box, and get the hell out of here. Hey man, thanks, really, I appreciate it. I always love looking at custom builds. No problem. There's a case release catch under the parallel port. Give her a once-over, take notes if you want. When you finish, be sure to close the door behind you. Alright, let's take a look at this, the cyber deck. Isobel cracks the case on the deck, lifting it high. She studies the innards of the device intently, her eyes flitting from connection to connection, from card to card. This is some genuinely impressive work. A few minutes later, she snaps the case back shut, and for whatever reason, it resets to her other model for some reason. Thank you, Wiggles. And a day full of unpleasant surprises. This was really was a really nice one. Hey, that's great. Now hurry up. We still need to get to Rhombus. But anyway, for doing that, we get the paid data prototype deck info. Yeah, so we actually get some paid data from this. So, which is easy to miss this because you think I should just go to this and maybe check the door later. But nope, has to be done while Isobel's by herself. So, anyway, now the Isobel section is done. That's it. Got it. That's way to the sweets. So we are done with the Isobel loan section. So now let's head on to finding Rhombus and dealing with this whole situation. So, all right, here we go. Let's travel to the suite. Yay! All right. All right, now we're inside. So, okay, this is another section where it's quite possible to get into a dangerous situation. So, all right. Anyway, let's explore. So, although it's pretty straightforward. So. Yeah, I can't really go into any other rooms, so. Alright, here we are. Now this situation can, depending on the situation, you can either go hot or cold on this one. Hot means when you have to fight and stuff like that, so. Alright. Gotta do a quick save. I know what to do, but never know if you accidentally make. I mean, you can fight this guy if you want to. It's not that hard, but. As you burst through the door, you find yourself standing face to face with a small, heavily tattooed man. Geometric shapes of all descriptions trace their way from his temples down to his cheeks and neck to his shoulders. His eyes continue the motif. Each of his irises is a slanted rectangle. Ramos looks at Isobel and sighs. If he's surprised to see her, he doesn't show it. You finally want them back, huh? The memories that we locked away. I always knew that you would one day, but you got so hostile at the procedure I didn't think you'd come around this soon. Isobel glowers at him, her cheeks darkening. Oh, get bent, Rhombus. I got hostile with you because you got hostile with me. Oh, hell I did. I tried to give you some advice as a friend. If memory serves, you called me a patronizing bastard and slugged my deck. Was I supposed to just take that without punching back? Oh, you slugged this guy? Isobel cuts in, her normally small voice growing raucous. I call you a patronizing bastard because that's what you were being. You wouldn't have taken that tone if I were a guy or an orc or a troll. You talked down to me like I was your little sister or something. Well, guess what? I'm not. Well, hold up. I talked that way to you because... She shouts over him, cutting him short. Also, punch back? That's a funny way of putting it. You tailored an ESP to troll all of my posts on Shadowrun. What kind of prick would do things like that? His face goes beet red and his chest puffs out. The con whose cat you had killed, you little monster. Captain Whiskers was just a house cat. He didn't have anything to do with this. She rears back in indignation. That wasn't me. I would never hurt a cat. If I were going to have someone killed, it would have been you. Alright, so we need to pipe down, both of you. We're going to hash this out together. You're the muscle. I'll take it. You and your friend is a really impressive drone. God, every time I do voices, I start to get into my Russian accent. Thank you. Crochet scuttles forward menacingly, its claws weaving in the air. Ractor smiles. His voice goes up an octave, and he points a trembling finger at Isobel. She brought you on to beat the information on me, did she? Beat isn't the word I'd use. Crochet is better equipped for ripping and tearing. He gives the one poet an encouraging nod. A good thought, though. You have a firm grasp on the situation. Rhombus swallows, and obviously it's different depending who you get. I usually bring either Gobbet or Ractor here. I don't actually remember what Duncan or Gaichu say in this case, so it's worth playing the game for yourself to see what their dialogue is. It's nothing crazy, it's just, you know. Rhombus swallows hard. He opens his mouth to speak, but no words come out. His eyes are locked on the drone that slowly scuttles towards him. I'm just a man with a job, and Isobel tells me I have something that that can help me do it. I can't believe this has happened to me. All of me trying to do you a favor. He shakes his head at Isobel. That'll teach me to try and give a friend some advice, I guess. So if you want to just get to the situation over with, we could just be aggressive with him and hit him and stuff like that. So this is the second time you said that. This whole feud started over you trying to give Isobel advice. Yeah, I don't even remember what we're talking about. I think maybe I was telling her what kind of ram to pick up for a deck, something like that. It was a long time ago. It wasn't what you said, Rhombus. It was how you said it. Oh wow, Isobel's too emotional. So she got mad because someone didn't say something the right way. She stares at him in fury. And the argument was nothing. It was what you did after the argument that was unforgivable. Let me guess, it's gonna be so minor that it's not even a big deal to real people. Taking the moral high ground isn't gonna work for you here. You attacked me first, and for no reason. For no reason. Okay, from what I'm getting here, you both hate each other, but you were friends, right? Once, I guess. You guess? You let me perform amateur brain surgery on you. Hell, you begged me to. We were friends, Isobel. Good friends, and then you went and messed it all up. Amateur brain surgery? Please explain what that means. What the hell is this all about? My memories, the ones about my childhood, the ones I'd lost, they aren't gone. They're in headwear storage, locked away behind an encryption key. I've got them, but I can't see with them without it. That was your idea, is keeping them, I mean. You told me to hold on to the key for you, just in case you ever needed them back. I know, Rhombus, but after everything that had happened, I just couldn't ask you to. You want the encryption key for the memories that were locked away? It's yours. I don't envy you the pain that you feel when you unlock them, but they belong to you. He keys a series of buttons into his PDA. Isobel's PDA buzzes a moment later. There, check your inbox. You've got the key. Do with it what you will. I was holding on to it for you anyway. Isobel blinks confusedly. But I thought that we were enemies now. We were, but there was no reason for us to be. Just take the key and go. Have a nice life. He waves her off. He looks exhausted. Say nothing. Isobel stares at Rhombus, a neutral expression on her face. Finally, she speaks up. I'm sorry, Rhombus. I don't know how things got as bad as they did, but sorry. Her voice goes solemn. I'm going to find out what happened to Captain Whiskers. I promise you that. That'll be nice of you, I'll appreciate it. Almost bashfully, his gaze flits to the ground. He looks away and color surges to his cheeks. Oh, it is I've got something of an admission to make. She rolls her eyes. Look, I get it, Rom. You always liked me. I hate to break it to you, but I was never that big of a secret. And I know that's why you... His eyes go wide. He raises his hands, palms out, and shakes his head. What? No, that's not it at all. I mean, you're a nice gal and all, but just no. Color rushes to her cheeks. But then what? I'll panic button. He flips his sleeve inside out, and you can see a blinking red LED embedded in the fabric. I tripped it when you broke in. The cops are on their way, but wait, don't freak out. I'll call them off for you. If you piss him off, he actually... The conversation kind of goes similar. Obviously, it's slightly different, but he says he flipped it on purpose or whatever. Oh, she shuffles her feet, looks away. Thanks. Hey, what are friends for? You just wait here. I'll go meet them in the hall and draw them off to another room. Shouldn't take 2 seconds. Oh, it is. It was nice catching up with you. Good luck with the whole memory thing. You're gonna need it. She nods mutely. Rhombus takes off at a run, then disappears down the hall. Hello, security. I've got to flee room 2B. Get out of here. Oh, sorry. It ran off and it wouldn't let me. We're in position. We secured the target. Oh, that was the security guy. So, anyway, but that's it. So, yeah, now we can just leave. And, yeah, he ran in there. So, let's see, HKPF captain. The police captain doesn't even bother to look down at you. She waves you off, an irritable expression on her face. Stand by, please. It's a police matter. Sure thing, officer. Keep up the good work. Enjoy the show. All right. Well, anyway, but yeah. So yeah, if you pissed off Rhombus, then he doesn't defend you from the guards or whatever. You have to fight them, or you have to smack Rhombus and leave. So, but yeah, that's it. We're done with the quest. We got the encryption keys for Isobel and didn't have to fight anyone. And like I said, if you want the best ending in the game, you do actually need to do this mission of Isobel. So keep that in mind for those who want to just speed rush it. I mean, if you want to speed run it, obviously, then it doesn't really matter. But yeah, that was a pretty straightforward mission. Probably could have done it in one episode, but I wasn't sure. I'm always bad about figuring out like the length of these sometimes, even when I generally know what I need to do. The bus trip back to Kai Tak is quieter than the ride in was. Your fellow passengers sit crumbled in their seats, barely moving, barely speaking. Their DECCON 2056 t-shirts hang loose on their frames, and their once cherished guest badges have been crumpled into their pockets. You see more lively groups on their way to the morgue. Isobel looks up at you, her eyes full of the same post-con fatigue that you've seen in everyone else's. She gives you a small smile and taps her temple with a fingernail. You've got what you came for. The show is over. It's time to go home. Yeah, I like that. I like that side quest just because, you know, it's a little bit different than what you're used to, and the whole convince and trying to put the words in Isobel's mouth so she can actually get out of the situation, you know. It's a nice bit of a touch. But anyway, for doing the mission, we get 8 karma, and like all major missions, people will have new dialogue, and we can get some rest, which I'm going to as well. But what awaits us in the next episode? Does anyone have anything new interesting to say? Can we rest? Can it not take an hour to do this whole thing? We'll find out next time in the next episode of Shadowrun Hong Kong. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.